You could clearly tell from that video that that fool had no remorse at all. No remorse for life. No remorse for his girlfriend. No remorse for the fact that this man won't have a future. Not even any remorse after you've sat in jail for a period of time, for however long he's been in there, and had time to reflect on what you did to those other children and ultimately what you did to this 20-month-old baby. That could not speak for herself. She could not defend herself, and she could not do like her mother did and run from the thug lion cage that her mama not only brought her to, but left her and abandoned her in. CPS, in my opinion, also abandoned this child when they had multiple opportunities to save all of these children. They did not. We don't see any reason. We don't see any danger, immediate danger, until somebody dies. You have yellow flags and red flags. Matter of fact, somebody with what they say has a lengthy criminal history. That should be a warning sign right there, should it not? Should that not automatically qualify you? Just you having a long criminal history by itself, that should disqualify you from being around children, in my humble opinion. Then to follow that up, accusations of domestic violence and abuse. Let alone that, the mom calling and having you arrested and complaints. Let alone that, the children reporting it from their own mouths. And I'm going to tell you something that disgusts me with the city of Madison and with the state of Wisconsin is the fact that a child, a baby, actually had the ability to speak and tell you what happened. And what did you say? Psh, those kids don't know what they're talking about. I don't see them being in any danger at all. What happens? More violence, more threats, more violent behavior. And it got aggressively worse. Why? Because this man thought he was infallible. Why? Because no matter how many times he continued to fuck up, there was always a woman there to wipe his ass, to take him in, to take this thug lion into her house for her own pleasures at the behest of her own children. If you ask me, I think it's disgusting that they continue to hide the identities of these mothers who continue to put their children around these dangerous criminals and continue to perpetuate this behavior by not having any real consequences and repercussions. Yes, protect the children's identities, the ones who are living. But what about the dead one? She can't be harmed anymore. You didn't want to share her story. You know why you didn't want to share her story and share her name and share her picture? Because if you ask me, the reason why Wisconsin didn't reveal that information is because they didn't give a shit. In my humble opinion. Show me that you care. In Texas, we have super aggravated child abuse laws that judge criminals way more harshly than other states for crimes against our babies, especially our babies under the age of 10 years old, because they cannot physically defend themselves whatsoever. And it's not to say that any child from age 11 to 15 or 16 can't either, but they have a little bit more ability, a little bit more verbiage that they can express to be able to defend themselves in a way to potentially get them out of a situation. But let me ask you, what was 20-month-old Raila Nicole Montgomery supposed to do to defend herself? Who could she call? You think she could call her dad? She doesn't have the ability to. You think she could fight mom's boyfriend off? She didn't have the ability to. So who's going to cry for 20-month-old Raila Nicole Montgomery? I would love to see the state of Wisconsin, the city of Madison, try to make up for this because you've already messed it up. I would love to see you make up for this in the legal system and charge him accordingly. Even I don't see why he needs to have any more breath inside of his body. I think he needs to be rush mailed to Satan immediately. There's a special place in hell for people who do this type of thing to children that I don't even want to repeat the words of what this baby went through. He is Satan's spawn, and Satan needs his child back. I think the mom, clearly knowing, in my humble opinion, that this man had all of these troubles in his history, demonstrated these behaviors early in the relationship, and continued to leave her children around this man that ultimately ended up abusing the other children because they witnessed it, they experienced the physical abuse, and also ultimately killed one of her children that she claimed that she loved. I think mom should get half as much time in prison as he do. When are we going to have some laws like that? When you put your children in harm's way. If there were a speeding train coming and you take your child and you set that child in front of a speeding train and that speeding train hit your kid, should you not be charged? Should you not be held accountable? I think you should. But we don't do that in our society. Not often enough. Well, I wasn't the one driving the train, but you put your child in the situation. And I could almost guarantee you, if that baby had sanctioned thoughts of her own, she wouldn't be in this position and she wouldn't be around this fool. I would love to know where the biological fathers are. If they are out there, speak out, say something. Somebody reach out and say something. But who knows where the dads are? So if mom liked the thug, then maybe the dads are probably all in jail. Who knows? I don't know. But we haven't heard from anybody because people are scared to speak up. But I would love for somebody to have the courage and speak out against this besides just me in the AFC. I would love to see more people participate and give our children a voice that they absolutely need. Okay? From my heart to yours, thank y'all for listening to this very difficult story to listen to. Okay? And we will definitely do an update on this. And hopefully this man will never see the light of day. And hopefully we can give him the end and swift justice, hopefully under the ultimate penalty under law. But thank you guys so much for listening. 20-month-old baby, Raila Nicole Montgomery. Thank y'all for listening to that baby's story. Thank you.
We have somebody who's also apparently had a history of resistive obstructive behavior or flight from law enforcement. We have somebody who was out on supervision at the time and has previously been convicted of other crimes.